What's up, guys? Dildo the Great here, and damn, man, bro, my beard is so thin. Alright, anyways, just need to record this video, basically getting some shit off my chest. I've been doing content creation for a couple of years now, and, it started off as something for fun, but then at one point it was like, oh cool, I'm getting some monies in here and there, which is nice, but it doesn't really, like pay the bills, right? And hi buddy. But for a while I was starting to like climb pretty steadily, and then life happened and I couldn't stream on a regular basis. So, it became difficult to like motivate myself to keep doing it once I got to a point where like shit was popping and I was like, oh, this is dope, like I should keep doing this. And then it just didn't feel the same, so I took a step back. And I usually take a step back here and there for like a week or two, maybe more. And I mean, my followers drop, my my average viewership drops, but every time I come back I feel better about streaming. So I think that's something that people need to think about, who've been like doing the whole, man, I've been streaming for like 5 hours, or sorry, I've been streaming like 5 days a week, I stream for 10 hours, I'm tired, and like this isn't going anywhere for me. Yeah, and I mean, if that's the case, it's probably gonna show in your streams. So take the time that you need, and do what you gotta do. Like, find other activities that make you feel good, because at one point streaming was my it was my hobby and my go-to thing when I was like, oh man, I need to de-stress. And then it became something that I felt obligated to do, and that made it not super difficult, but it made it a little difficult to go live and do the streaming thing. But like, I love streaming on Twitch. I don't always agree with the way that Twitch runs things, but I've met a lot of great people on Twitch, and I'm not gonna act like they didn't help me meet those people or deal with some tough times and let out my desire to like be an entertainer, but also make friends and be social without having to like actually go out and be social. Because sometimes I don't want to, but I think it's funny because I've always been seen by like my friend circles. I'm like the quote unquote, not to sound full of myself, but I'm like the life of the party. People want to talk to me, people gravitate towards me. It's been like that since I was like towards the end of high school, and like when I got into college, and new friends, new people, same effect. People want to be around me. Shout out, please don't mess with the mic. Okay, thank you very much, buddy. People have always gravitated towards me, so I wasn't like super surprised when I started to take off on Twitch when I first started, and I grew fairly quickly. Then the more I did it, I built up a little bit of an audience, and then like I said, life happened. So also, I'm gonna apologize right now, which I should have done at the beginning, but I can be a little scatterbrained sometimes, so that's the thing. If I seem like I'm like talking in circles, just bear with me, please. But yeah, so I started taking off, and it was great. And then I got busy, and I came back, and of course people are gonna be busy too. So maybe when I was streaming, they weren't able to watch, or they were busy, they had shit going on. People got lives. But there's just that like, in the back of my head, there's that thought of, oh man, like people don't really want to watch me anymore, so maybe I should stop. And I've touched on this before in a video I did with Avante a while back, where people would message me, be like, yo, where you been? Like, you haven't streamed in forever, like I haven't seen you. go live, but I have seen you in some people's chats, or like I haven't even seen you in some people's chats or whatever, and like just checking in on you. And that's a very wholesome, like warm feeling that people care enough to reach out to me, and people have told me like, dude, I see a lot of potential in you, but for some reason you're holding yourself back. And that's the big thing. I hold myself back a lot because one of the bigger reasons that I stopped streaming so much when I was starting to take off is it was starting to seem like something that was going to be somewhat successful, and there's just that like weird fear of success, because once I start to be successful at something, then the pressure's on. I gotta stay successful. And that fear of unavoidable failure that I've had and many other people have, it's not a realistic thing. Like, you're gonna fail, it's gonna happen, you're gonna do some dumb shit, and you might get some backlash for it. And that's literally just, it's a part of life. People might be like, yo, I thought you were different, whatever. Like, that's just a part of life. You learn, you grow. It is what it is. But I need to stop being like, I'm just afraid of just failure in general now. So there's so many things that I wanted to try and do, and content that I wanted to put out. I recorded a bunch of content a while back, and then I got in my own head again, which is a dangerous place for me to go in terms of making content and being productive in general. I made a bunch of content a while back, maybe not a bunch, but like 5 or 6 videos worth of content, little skits and stuff, little vlogs, kind of like this one. And I got in my own head, and I was like, yeah, you know what, no one's gonna like this shit. So I deleted it all. All of it is gone. I mustered up the courage to make the content, knowing that I'd be the first one to see it. I'm the initial critic, I'm the initial viewer, and I made the content that I wanted to make. But I deleted it all because I was like, you know what? No one's gonna want to watch this. No one's gonna give a shit, and that is the exact wrong thing to do. So my plan now is to at least once a week put out some type of video, right? Might not be super edited. I might not even like it, but I need to put it out there to form the habit of putting out content versus overthinking the content and scrapping it. So, once again, I'm saying that I'm going to start making content again and putting it out there. But more so, I want to encourage other content creators who are possibly in the similar position that I'm in, who need to just not be afraid of putting out content and put out the content. Like, I can do it. You can probably do it. You probably already done it. You might have also deleted stuff that you were like, you know what, this is pretty decent. But then a week later you looked at it because you wanted to make sure it was decent before you put it out there, and turns out you hated it. So by now you probably realize that this is not going to be a very like super happy, uppity, typical video. This is me kind of opening up, being vulnerable, which is not a thing that I'm very good at doing, but it's something that I think I should do because it'll help me embrace the partaking in things that make me uncomfortable but are probably better for me down the road. So I just want to say, like, if you're an aspiring content creator and your biggest obstacle is yourself and your doubt, I've been there. If you've found yourself sitting around at night watching Netflix or watching other people stream or anything of the sort, and you just find yourself overcome with this unexplained sadness because, you know, you see other people doing things that you want to do, and maybe they seem like they're super successful with it, and you're not. And maybe they're going through what you're going through as well off screen, but you don't know that. All you see is the here and now, which is them, you know, doing something seeming so passionate and doing it so well, and you can't figure out what's going on. You can't figure out why you can't be there or you can't do the same thing. I get it. You know, staying up, so you're sitting there, you're like fighting tears because you're just so weighed down by all this doubt, all these negative thoughts. I've been there. It's not easy, but, you know, just like I'm taking the steps to not let those things affect me negatively and not let me, or not weigh me down, you can do the same things. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but instead of just quote unquote being on that grind and trying to stream every day for hours on end, take that day off. You're going to lose numbers probably. But if you keep doing the same thing and you're just trying to grind it out and you feel like you're not putting on a good performance, your viewers are going to see it. And they're probably not going to want to stick around. Or they'll be like, oh, he's having an off day, maybe I'll come back another day, or whatever. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure that I've done it. But I don't do that anymore. I don't try to force the streams just because I have time. I do it if I feel both mentally ready and I have the time. It's just better that way. Because I don't have a set schedule. I'm not a full-time streamer. Right? I gotta go work my other job that I'm like, you know, whatever. It's a grind and I hate it, kind of, sort of. But it's consistent income and it kind of helps me get by. Sometimes doesn't help me get by as much as, you know, you'd like it to, but it is what it is. And that's where I'm at right now. And until I get to a point where I start making enough content consistently enough and I start getting the numbers and I start getting the revenue from the content that I create, this is where I'm at. And I gotta work with what I've got. And I can't keep trying to force things and doing them while I'm frustrated because it's going to affect the content that I make. And even though I deleted all that content that was actually pretty good, I got to a point where I wasn't feeling too hot and, you know, got that good old self-doubt again. And I was like, alright, well, fuck it. I'll just delete this and stop trying to make this happen. A couple days go by and I realized that I fucked up. I can't go back and change that. I can try to recreate those videos. I don't know if I will or if I will be able to as well as I did in the first run of them, but it is what it is. I can't really go back and do much about it. So that's it. I just wanted to say that. And if you watch this video, appreciate it. And if you didn't watch this video, it's fine. I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's basically just me ranting, so. And saying that I want to be more open, or not open. I want to be more consistent. I want to start making content on a consistent basis. And I always say this. And I rarely follow through for more than like 2-3 weeks at a time. Because I started getting my own head again. I'm hoping, because I've met people who have kind of, what is the word? The accountability's there now. There's people who are like, yo, nah, son, you haven't done any content creation. So what's up? Like, what's wrong? Let's talk. And they reach out and I talk and I have a support system for now. You know, people come and go, it happens. For now I have a support system again, which I haven't had in a while. And that'll probably help my situation. So yeah, that's that. Just wanted to get that out there. And if anybody relates to this, then great, you know. If you thought I had my shit together, boy, were you wrong. You know, it is what it is. So, yeah. Just gonna keep on ranting otherwise. So, yeah, I'm just gonna... So, yeah, this is gonna be a very minimally edited video. I'll probably just be editing out parts where my dog barks because he wants more attention than I was giving him during the video. And, because he, like, he runs off and yelps or whatever. But, yeah, I just wanted to make this video. I know I've done this before where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do things and blah blah blah, and people are like, yo, this guy's full of shit. If you even watch my videos, you're like, ah, this guy's full of shit. He keeps saying he's gonna make content. He never makes content. Whatever. And that's the thing too. Like, I think that, like, you know what? I've done this so many times. People probably, I'm the guy who you know, the boy who cried content creator. Like, that's me. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I made this video. I'm gonna post this video. And hopefully accountability sticks with me. So if you guys wanna, like, if you got anything, any suggestions on content I should do, leave it in the comments. Any suggestions for, like, the consistency of releasing content, anything like that, just let me know. And I mean, I'm gonna try to do it more, because I know people want to see my content and they can't catch my streams. So, you know, having it out there as a accessible whenever they can get on YouTube, it's probably the way to go. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, you guys, just let me know. Peace.